Welcome to the Divine Gossip Podcast. I am your host, Mackenzie Foster. I'm a psychic medium, witch, tarot reader, spiritual mentor, paranormal investigator, and honestly, I'm just a really curious woman who loves diving deep into how this universe works. I started this podcast to share with you what I'm learning about intuition, the unseen world, healing, magic, and most importantly, becoming the most authentic and honest version of myself. Not the perfect one, but the real one. And if you're down for that too, grab your journal, keep an open-minded heart, and let's get into today's video. Hello, and welcome back to the Divine Gossip Podcast. I have an incredible, amazing guest with me. I feel like I say that every guest. I'm like, I have an incredible, amazing, fabulous guest with me, but they're all fabulous. But this one is special, and yes, I'm saying that. I have my best friend Megan Feken with me. I don't even know where to start. I want you to introduce yourself, and then we'll just get into like why we're here.
Okay. Um, so I've been on the pod before, so if you've listened, you've kind of already know who I am, but I am a Reiki master teacher, an astrologer, a psychic medium, um, a spiritual mentor. The list is always growing. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm also the owner of the Holistic Treehouse, which is a space for spiritual and mindfulness entrepreneurs and practitioners to host their group events or their one-on-one services in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay, literally already notice the difference between our last episode together and now and how you just introduced yourself. Isn't that so cool?
Yes, but I also didn't do my homework, so I don't remember exactly what I said.
Well, it was me, first of all. It was me introducing you, and I just rattled off like every single title you possibly hold, but you are very much more confident and clear and established in who you are and what you do now, and that just really showed. So basically, we're here today as our, I think we can officially call it our yearly life update. And, every time we do one of these, we listen to the last episode we did together. So last year around this time, we did like a 1 year later, like catch up with me and my best friend episode. And then the year before that, we did our first ever episode together, and just talked about a plethora of spiritual topics. But yeah, we wanted to do another yearly catch up and, announce something very special, which I'm sure we will announce at the end. But I really want to update all of the listeners in our community, people and new listeners, if you're just finding us now, of where we are now and what we do and how much we have learned this past year of like owning our own businesses and like a bunch of other things that are happening in our lives and have happened. Um, so we both listened to the last episode and I took some notes of how much shit has changed because it's fucking crazy. Like, oh my God. And I said this in the last episode too. It's hard to put into words how much we change. And we even recognize this too, that every time we go through like a spiritual lesson or, any kind of upgrade or like level up, if you will, we move through it so fast that there's so many. So it's hard to. Also, I'm gonna shut the fuck up this episode because I don't know if you caught that, but I talked about myself the whole episode last time. You
This
said the
is your
same thing.
this is your podcast.
I know,
And
but like,
we're talking about our friendship and all of that. So it's like you're half of this equation and that's okay.
sometimes you're just way too nice to me, and I love you. I appreciate that.
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't like to be the center of attention anyways. So for me, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about you.
Right.
You know?
Yes, I totally see that and get that. Absolutely. Yeah, I even with the podcast now, Divine Gossip, I have an actual intro and outro now. Like the last episode, I didn't have that I don't even think the episode before that I had that either. And I kind of played around with like intros and outros for a long time, but like in the beginning of this one, you're gonna already know who I am if you listen to the intro, and like it's just a little bit more professional and clear. I think that's the number one theme I have found is like we both are so clear and again established in what we do for work and where we want to go and um how we feel about ourselves and all that. Like we're just more confident. And so there's more professionalism, I would say, in the podcast, and then also, and my presence, both of our presences on YouTube, are better now too.
Yeah. And also, just so you know, Mackenzie, it's like buffering a lot on my end. Is it buffering a lot on your end?
Yeah, let me open this door. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. Hopefully everyone stays quiet downstairs. Normally if I have that door closed, sometimes it buffers, so I'll just leave it open.
Yeah, it's definitely better instantly.
Okay, good. Okay, great. I'll
So,
leave that open.
um,
Um, Go ahead.
I forget what I was gonna say. I was about to say
Okay, that's
something.
okay. That's okay. You know me, I have plenty to say. Also, what's different is the setup, once again. Like, I think we should adjust that. Last time we both agreed that the audio was ass because those mics are ass. And we have been trying to figure out how to record in person, but it is very hard if you don't have like a full-on podcast studio. We do not have that yet. So we're like virtual it is.
Right, right. No biggie. And, you know, it is a little bit different talking to you here versus like I remember last time it just feeling very natural and like we're just hanging out chatting and there happens to be a camera on it. I wasn't even paying attention to the camera. This feels more like we're recording, you know?
Right. Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, if we had it our way, we would totally be in person right now, but this is better audio, better video, easier like back end stuff for us. So, even in yeah, it's crazy because the first episode we did together was in my old apartment, blah blah blah. We don't have to talk about that anymore. But one a year ago was in the Holistic Treehouse, your business, and then now we're virtual, but it's just three different places. It's so funny, but that was so different. Talked about myself way too much. Oh, and then the other thing that is cool is I'm becoming a Reiki master next month.
Yeah. Yes. And the last time we recorded, you had just got initiated into level one or you were about to?
I think I just did get initiated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh, it came so naturally and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Yep. So that is interesting. I know I was trying to think of how I'm different from a year ago, like what's different about me. And I think like I'm still doing all the same things I was a year ago, but it's just more like I've learned the deeper lessons. It's like the next level of that. It's like more embodied versus it being brand new,
That's
you know?
exactly how I feel. Yeah, because I was telling my mom that we're doing this like yearly catch up thing, and she was like, well, what were you doing a year ago? I was like, I guess the same things, but now I'm just like feel better about it and I'm more again clear and like less scattered, more focused, like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think same here. I think it was more like I don't know, like I can just hear it in my voice in that episode. I was still in that dreamer stage, and I think now I'm a little bit more, I mean, I'm always a fairly grounded person, but like I'm more grounded in like
Yeah.
the future, even though now like before I feel like I knew what the future looks like. Now I'm like, and I don't know, maybe that's just another level of wisdom of realizing like I literally don't know what's next
Yeah,
at this
that's
point.
yeah, we were talking about that I think a couple weeks ago of like when we went to the beach last together, we were both like, we need to stop trying to figure out exactly what our lives are going to look like in like a year or two from now, because we were just like, maybe the rest of this year we have an idea, but that's really it. Like everything's always changing and up leveling in ways we never expect. So,
Yes, yes. And I don't know, for me, it's like the first time in my life where I've really felt so unsure of what's next. Like, I've always had a plan for the most part.
mhm.
And right now, I don't. Right now, I'm just letting it unfold, and I'm like, that must be pretty, something magical must be coming because I'm not trying to make it happen. It's just like, whatever happens, I'm chilling. I'm creating space for it to happen, you know?
Exactly. That's the coolest thing ever to hear you say. I feel the exact same way. I think we both recognize when we're falling into that pattern of like trying to control and like gripping so hard, and it's like nothing good is going to come out of that. And like we need to relax and surrender and be open to receiving. And I think a lot of people, if they're not business owners or they're not like just going full force into their purpose, they will hear that and be like, what do you mean you don't know what's next? That sounds like so irresponsible or whatever the fuck. And it's like, actually, it's the exact opposite. Like, it just unfolds, literally.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that did serve me for a long time. It wasn't like that was a bad thing. It just feels like more, I'm moving into more trust in the universe of
Hmm.
just like allowing it to unfold and not trying to figure it out so hard.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though I still am trying to figure it out. I'm like, got my eyes open, like any little like sign or like synchronicity. I'm like, oh, maybe that's next, like trying, but like also just like waiting to receive it.
Yeah. Well, we're human. That part of our brain is always going to be like on.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
I thought it was also really cool to hear you say this was at the end of last episode, but I was like, so what's next for you? What do you feel like is next? And you were like, well, we're starting to do day retreats, so I wonder if like I'll do like travel retreats next. And you are in the fall if you want to talk about that whole transformation. The retreat thing is awesome.
Yeah. Give me just a moment. Oh, I had something pop up on my computer. Yeah, so I do remember that part because I know I didn't listen to it recently, but I had listened to it a couple weeks ago anyways, which is what reminded us that we needed to do another follow-up. But yeah, that was interesting because I was thinking I would do that this year by the end of the year. And towards the beginning of this year, 2026, I was like, I don't know, maybe it won't be this year, maybe it will. It just felt like a big step. And then our friend Jenny, who also works at the treehouse and does events with us,
And was
approached
on
me
Divine Medicine.
and, oh, she's been on here too, yeah. Um, So she approached me and told me that she was wanting to do a weekend retreat in the fall. And so I was like, huh, okay, let's do it then. Why it feels like less risky. It felt good to have like a partner in it, um, and someone to like share the responsibilities with because it is a big step and more involved than just a day retreat. And then now here we are. Um, I guess it's been, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months since we announced it, and we only have 2 spots left for the retreat. So it's like filled up and it feels really good. And now I'm like, dang, why was I so scared to do this? I don't know. I guess just because there was like overhead and it's a whole weekend versus just a day. And it requires travel. We're gonna drive there. It's about 3.5 hours away. So yeah, but it feels really good and makes me feel confident that this is what I'm gonna keep doing.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
guess that is one long-term plan that I know.
Right, right. Like we know pieces of it, but there's no like I feel like we always are like, what are our days gonna look like? What's our schedule like? And it's like that shit, the small shit, we will not know until we get there. Like um
Yeah.
yeah, that was really cool to hear you say that. Like our mindsets back then versus now, like we're literally living our reality that we wanted back then. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, for sure.
So
I think
cool.
so.
And yeah, I think it's cool to also mention how, like, you were listening to the podcast episode because and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were at like a network, you hosted a networking, like, walk with me kind of event at Oak Grove Park, and one of our clients and now practitioner who was at the treehouse listened to our last year's episode and was like, I loved it. And you were like, shit, I need to listen to that again. And then you were like, wait, it's time to do the yearly one.
Yeah, yeah. She was telling me she felt like a stalker because she was like referencing something she knew about me from listening to the episode. She was like, "Wait, I feel weird." I'm like, "No, it's okay."
I love it.
And I
That's
was
so
like,
sick.
it did give me that curiosity of like, oh, let me go back and listen and like hear, I don't know, like I always do that. Like, do you ever do that? Like go on your profile, like
Yeah.
on your socials or like anywhere and pretend you're someone else looking or
Yeah.
listening?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
kind of doing that of like, what did she think about, all of that.
I know. We're like, wait, what did we say and talk about? Because
Yeah.
we don't really remember. But yeah, it was really cool. And it's funny too. I've been listening to, it's a podcast called Giggly Squad. They're not spiritual whatsoever. However, it's two girl best friends. And I just started listening to them like 3 months ago. And it's because, one host, Paige DeSorbo, was on Summer House, which is a reality show I love, on Bravo. And Megan and I do have a Bravo TV show we have in common. We do watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I started New York and you started New Jersey. And I'm about to start New Jersey because you're watching New Jersey. Anyway, so she has a podcast page from Summer House. She's not on the show anymore, but she still has the podcast and is like has a clothing line and shit like that. And then the other host, her best friend, was also on a season or two or three maybe of Summer House, Hannah Berner, who's a comedian, and they're best friends and they're so opposite. Like they remind actually our personalities are kind of a mix of both, but they are so opposite, and like we have the opposite shit going on too, where I'm like more fiery and you're more grounded, and like it just reminded me. So I was like, that is so funny. I watch them and I'm like, they're making they're helping so many women empower themselves and feel entertained and happy and excited and like laugh and like have a good time, and then they're also making millions off of just like being best friends. And then you asked me to, come on the pod again and do that. I was like, absolutely, like cool. I feel like every time I get lit up by something I see, it happens in my life too. Like it was just such cool timing.
Yeah. Yeah. That is cool. And yeah, I mean, some people just like, I don't know, they just have a vibe where it's like anybody can just listen in and feel like they're part of that friendship too, you know?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. It
And
was
I hope people feel that way when they listen to us, you know?
Yeah, I think they do. I think that's kind of the confirmation we got from Stacy, the woman who listened to us, was like like such a fan of it already, like she was like, I know feel like I know you because I listen to the podcast. I feel like a stalker. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, it was
Yep. So
awesome.
there's our confirmation.
Exactly, exactly. And it was also really a good feeling too to hear myself in last episode go, um, I forgot exactly what I said about school, but I was still in school, obviously, back then, like in classes and stuff. And now I'm gonna be done in a year, which I hate saying in a year, but it is in a year. It just sounds so far away when I say it, but to me, that's like nothing. But this time next year, August, I will be done with classes and I'm graduating next December. So I'm like, last year felt like I was climbing an uphill battle every fucking day trying to like do good and get done and like but now I'm so close to being done. It's just crazy how time fucking flies.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. It was a year ago that we recorded that episode. So think about how fast that went. We didn't even really like realize the transformation that had happened until we looked back retrospectively. So just think about where you're going to be and how much more set up you're going to be for graduating in a year, you know?
Yeah, it's actually insane to think about. It's insane to think about. And it's weird too, because this week, so I talked about last episode too, where I was like, I did an event for my sister and her friends where I did readings and a candle spell for the group of women. And then literally this week, I'm doing the same thing on Wednesday. The same day you texted me if I'm available to do a reading for someone, I got the text at the same time from my boyfriend's sister-in-law saying, "Are you available to do readings for me and my friends Wednesday night?" I was like, wow, Wednesday is such a reading day. But I'm still doing the same things, except now I'm doing it for like people I don't even know and like more private things. And like I feel more confident and just like, yep, just let me know what time and I'll give you prices and whatever. It just feels so like normal and natural to do the shit we're doing now, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and not so like big and cutting edge and like, like nerves. It's just like, yep, this is my job. That's what I do. Sure, I'll be at your event, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the coolest feeling. And something kind of cringe that I said last episode was I was like, I made a new friend when I did the party for my sisters. I never talked to that girl. I never texted her. She never texted me. I was like, I was did that event for my sister, and then I even went made a new friend, Izzy. She's never texted me ever, and I never text her. I was like, why did I say that online and publicly? That is so embarrassing. I did not. We are not friends, which
That
is
is,
fine. I
I
don't care. I'm
mean,
just saying, like, why did I say that?
who's to say something still won't develop though? Like, think about it. You could see her again, and
It's
that could
true.
hit it off, and then maybe y'all actually
That's
make
true.
plans and
That's true.
like I feel like it doesn't mean it's done forever. And you did make a friend. Even if you never hung out with her again, you made a friend for that day, you
Oh,
know?
that's such a good point. Yeah, and we follow each other on
Yeah.
Instagram, so we like each other's stuff.
Yeah, you never know. She could listen to this and be like, oh, hey, like, hey,
She's
you
gonna
never know.
she's gonna listen to the last episode and this one and be like, I didn't realize that was a topic on their podcast.
Nah, she'll probably be flattered. She'd be like, "Aw, thanks. And I'm so sorry I never texted you."
Izzy, if you're listening to this, I don't care, but I love you and you were great. Okay. Um, yeah, I so much has changed. I do think I think I feel like last episode it was more like our actual lives have changed because you opened the treehouse and then I was in a whole new relationship. My whole life and focus had changed in life and um oh my God, you know, I just realized my son is in the seventh house. So, like, no wonder I always identify with the relationships I have in my life. I've always hated that I like say, oh, I'm in a new relationship now, so everything's changed. But it's like I change every relationship I go into, friendship or not, you know? So I just,
Yeah.
that made me,
Same with me, whole sign. My
ah,
son is in the seventh too. And I
mhm.
definitely, it's so funny that you're bringing this up because literally listening to, I listen to Channy's premium for Capricorn Rising at the beginning of every week. And one of the topics she talked about was something that I had recently been pondering, anyways, around my identity. And yeah, I mean, I totally vibe with that of like when I'm not just like intimate relationship, but even friendships too shape my identity. And when I like lose a friend, a close friend, then or someone I'm in a relationship with, then it feels like I am a different person.
Yeah,
And what Channy was talking about though was more like my eighth house and about how grief and loss have shaped my identity, and have I been like over identifying with that? Like, is that shaping who I am? And I had already been considering that because someone had reflected that to me recently anyways. And so I had already been sitting with that, and I'm like, now it's in my astrology that I'm really supposed to look at this. And I'm like, damn, if no one had brought this up to me, then I really wouldn't be thinking about it. But yes, like, I mean, I feel like I had my spiritual awakening through grief and loss. And so naturally, I do identify with it as part of my identity,
Yeah.
you know? Because this version of me came through that.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, it did.
yeah, so long story to say, yes, I completely feel
Yeah.
that relationships do shape my identity
Yeah. And
big time.
totally, yeah, I hear you. 'Cause and then it's just a testament to astrology as a tool, which we both have been so intertwined with, even more and more every day. Like, we constantly are like, oh, well, this is happening in the sky right now, so it makes sense. And it's not even like, because a lot of girls will be like, oh, well, it's Mercury retrograde, duh. Like, we're like, go way deeper than that, like, all the time. And that's just a testament to how our birth charts are a reflection of like what we're experiencing in our lives. Like, yeah, like someone could be like, obviously, like logically, your identity is going to be shaped from a huge loss that you had, but like, what are the odds that it's going to be in your birth chart literally too? Like, it's a reflection of each other, you know?
Yeah, that and like the fact that I've been thinking about that recently because someone else brought it up to me as something they've kind of seen in me. And then, I've been thinking on it for a couple weeks, and then now it's in my horoscope for the week that I'm supposed to look at that more.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's awesome.
but also, since you brought up the astrology, do you want to know today's astrology, or do you already know?
Of course. No, I have no idea.
Okay, so the main transit happening today is that Chiron's going retrograde. And for me, at least, it's my fifth house of creativity. And like this is kind of a creative project. Also, fifth house of children, which that topic I was just talking about is the grief of loss of my child.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, like Chiron just went into Taurus. It's only been there, I think, since June. So now it's going to retrograde back into Aries one last time, going back for me to my fourth house of home and family. And I know your chart's very similar, so that might be Placidus the same for you. Um, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting that it's retrograde in my house of creativity today, since this feels like a very much a creative project.
Wait, how do you know what house it's retrograding in?
Whatever house is ruled by Taurus in your chart.
Okay. Oh God, I have to pull up. Shit. That's crazy. That's so cool. We also literally planned this podcast around what the astrology said, too.
Well, we picked this time, and then I was like, let me go look at the chart for it. I didn't even notice that Chiron be going retrograde, but yeah, like the rising sign and um all that was good for this recording now.
My Taurus is in my sixth house on Shani, so she uses whole sign, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what would that be, Placidus?
It just depends. I can pull up your chart. But it depends on how your
Oh,
chart lays out. But let's see.
I love that you have everyone's charts bookmarked so you can just pull it up.
Oh yes, this is how I understand people. Okay, so fifth house for you too, Placidus,
Oh, shut
and
up.
your North Node. Yeah,
Wow. Yep. So there we go. That makes perfect sense.
yeah, yeah. It does make perfect sense, especially for, what we plan to announce,
Yeah.
which I don't know, should we go ahead and say that or keep teasing people with it?
I know. I think that's the next evolution of the conversation. Yes, I think we should. I think you should announce it.
Okay. So I asked Mackenzie not only if we could do a recap episode, but if we could do like an entire series together and just see how that feels for us co-hosting Divine Gossip. And so it makes total sense to have Chiron going retrograde today because it's like in both of our fifth houses. So it's like we're basically over the next couple weeks while Chiron's retrograde, like looking at reviewing, reflecting on if this feels like something good for us, if it feels like a healing and creative process that's productive for us. So I'm really excited for like all the topics that we have planned and,
Hmm.
just like to see what will happen with this.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be so fun, and yeah, I mean the dream is to have it long term, but we're both like we need to feel out how it is, especially with everything always changing and growing and so fast in so many different ways. We want to make sure it aligns and we're able to commit to something like that because of course we would love to do that. We were like, we're best friends, we talk all the time, why not record it and share it with the collective of humans that find us, because our ultimate goal is to help people heal and grow spiritually and in all ways, So yeah, and astrology is definitely going to be a huge part of that series because again, we talk about it all the time, and Megan is an astrologer, and it's intertwined in everything we do. So yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
Yes, yes. I know, I'm excited too, and glad that we talked about like here I was trying to go all Capricorn about it of like, oh, that means I've got to like if we're gonna do a weekly episode, I've got to look up the astrology every week and like make sure I'm planned for it. And you're like, no, 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 no. It's whatever you naturally feel like is coming up and you want to say it. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's be more natural and just like whatever unfolds, allow it to unfold instead of trying to. And maybe this was my first step of doing this by not listening to our last episode again, you know?
Yes,
Like, because I'm
like,
like, shit, what am I going to talk about now? Because I barely remember what we talked about.
well, so many things. I think one, you literally just proved to yourself that you can like not prepare as much as your Capricorn brain would like to, because you literally were just like, funny you brought that up. You want to know today's astrology, and you just naturally knew it and like knew it was relevant. So yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
That's just
yep.
part of who you are. And I also think like I've podcasted for like 2, 3 years now, and you haven't. So you're gonna get used to being just open and flowy and natural like you are in regular life too. So, um, and I already see a big difference anyway. Like you're already more confident in just saying what you know and going with the flow and channeling too. Especially, I think that comes from you being a community leader and hosting so many events and having to speak in front of so many people and show up as your knowledgeable, spiritual wise self.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out because I think that is a big difference in me. Is like I used to prep for every little thing of like what I'm gonna say. Now I feel, especially in my community events, like I just show up and
Yeah.
whatever feels like it needs to be said comes out and I just let it come out and not so like put together, and like planned and trying to remember what I want to say, more so just letting it flow.
Yeah, we've both um had to do that, kind of not put such a structure and like a rigid box around ourselves, because especially when you're in the spiritual space and you are so aligned with the energy and following your purpose, like it's not like corporate. Like you have to be more open and willing to go with the flow and like I don't know, just be a natural channel and getting confident and trusting that you know your shit because we do. And well, for the most part in our things, but yeah, I don't know what else I was gonna say with that, but I think that's
No, but I know what I know
yeah.
what you're saying, like being willing to like pivot and feel the energy of the room of like, what do people need to hear right now? What's going to
Yeah.
make them feel safe? What's going to make them feel like it's okay to come into the moment and relax and put their guard down and really create, a space for healing.
Yeah, as you were talking I remembered what I was gonna say. That's exactly right. And I think with podcasting, you kind of have to do the same thing. Like if you come in here with like every single bullet point lined out, you're just gonna be like reading a script and it's gonna feel not really authentic and like just a casual like talk between humans, and that's both the vibe we want is like you said earlier, to just have people tune in and feel like they're taking a break from their day, but also gaining value and just feel comfortable like they're hanging out. Um, and you kind of have to have that approach when you have a spiritual business. And yeah, I hear all of our topics that we want to talk about coming out because now I'm like, we can talk about all this stuff for hours.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I know. And what did we decide we're going to do first? Or do we not want to say that yet?
We're gonna do, ooh, should we say it? Yeah, let's say it. We're gonna do manifestation as our first topic.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Everybody's
see?
interested in that. It's a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've manifested so much. We've manifested each other and a million things in our lives. So, and we have a ton of, like, I have my notes in front of me. We have a ton of topics just brainstormed out, and we're aiming for weekly episodes. That's our goal is to have a weekly episode going out. Um, and we even told ourselves we're going to record every Monday at 10 a.m. and we're like recording a week before. Like we have it all planned out and feeling good. So we're super excited. And that was a huge theme I also recognized in our last episode is, and I think we can probably talk about this in manifestation too, because it's kind of the same, like in the same ballpark, but how our capacities have built. I think we kind of touched on it earlier of like how normal it feels to do what we're doing now. I mean, that's a result of expanding your capacity for sure. But I remember saying in the last episode that my life is so different now. My priority is myself. And like I prioritize myself. And it's like my life is even more different now because prioritizing myself is just like normal and natural. It's not something I have to like put as an intention anymore. I just wake up and I'm like, what do I need? And what does my day look like? And I balance everything way better now. Do you find that as well?
Yes, yes. I think I'm still in the process of doing that more and more, though. Like, I don't feel like I'm fully there, just 'cause I feel like, I'm a mom and I'm a wife and on top of being a business owner, so and then my self-care feels like a fourth category. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm prioritizing myself more than ever before,
Yeah.
but it's still an ongoing journey for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I see it in you of having to bring that intention back and we're always going to do that the rest of our lives, of course. But um I think you said something really cool to me the other day though is and if you want to cut this out we can, but um you said to me the other day, like this in July, this was like the most successful month for the treehouse. And you were like, and what did I do different? I actually did less. I did less. And it was the most successful. So,
Yeah, no, I was actually going to say that too, of like, I feel like when we recorded that last episode, it had been a year since I started the treehouse. And so I was just starting to see the financial benefits and starting to really see the like I remember hearing the excitement in myself of like finally seeing my hard work paying off. And now here we are almost 2 years later. November will be 2 years, and I'm like, I'm finally like comfortable not pushing so hard all the time, and finally like to a point where it's, it is profitable, and I'm just slowly growing that more and more and more, you know? And so it feels like that embodied, like it doesn't feel like so much effort all the time like it was.
Yeah,
And
and
now I
it's
actually have a little space in my life.
yes, you literally do. Like you have shifted your schedule and you have started putting yourself first a lot more and look where you are because of that and how much has changed because of that. It's really inspiring and incredible to see, especially with how much work you do put in and what you've created and the spaces you hold and the ripple effect you have like as you should be, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely what it is too, is the ripples. You plant so many seeds, some of them are eventually going to just keep growing, even without having to tend to them, but so much. So, yeah.
I didn't think of what those were all my notes, but I feel like there's so much that has changed. I'm just super excited for our series. I feel like and oh my God, did you notice in the last episode that or no, you said in the last episode that the first episode we did together, you tried to start a series with me and like hinted at it, and I just did not take the hint, or I just like wasn't ready or whatever. Like you literally were like, we tried to start a series together, and then we just figured we should do this yearly thing. So now we're actually starting the series. Like every episode you've said it. So you knew.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so that was another thing I wanted to say is I said this to you recently, but that first time you invited me on your podcast, and that was the first time going to your apartment, like us, that was the beginning of our friendship. I knew that we were going to be doing this podcast together. Um, I don't know. I think right now we're trying it as a series because we don't want to overcommit and then it not work out. But I do see this being something long term. And I don't know, the fact that I saw that 2 years ago that this is what we were gonna like, I knew that we would be co-hosting this podcast together. I don't know, just confirmation. I don't know, did I manifest it or was it destiny or both?
Both. Both. Like I
Right, that's what I always say, both.
yeah, I do better when I talk to other people. I feel like I just get a little I don't know. I'm fine by myself too, but it's more like I grew up watching YouTube and podcasts, and I've always watched two people bounce off of each other or more than two people, and I've always been like that would be so fun to be so like cool and close to someone and be able to feel comfortable doing that. And then as we maybe all know, I don't know if you all have listened to my past episodes, but I had a co-host when I first started the podcast, like literally not even the like a month in, I think, if I'm remembering right. She asked me to be a co-host and I was like, hell yeah, this is my dream. And then she turned out to be a psychopath. So then that kind of went down the shitter. So anyway, I have a little bit of trauma from like letting people in on my thing, and you are like the person to let in on my thing with. Like, no doubt in my mind. My heart needs to feel ready and our capacities need to feel good and that's it. But you always have been that friend of like, you know I'm right and it's gonna come that I'm right, but it just takes time because I'm also very like, no, I'm independent and I know myself best. So it's like sometimes you know me better, so
Yeah. But also on that note, I was thinking about this the other day that that's kind of been my role in so many friendships, though, is that I see it long before they do. I
yep.
see it the moment like when I have a karmic tie with someone, the moment I see them, I know, and I go full in. as soon as I see it. And I don't know, like it's almost subconscious, but I can remember so many people in my life who I was really close to for whether it was a period of time or my whole life, but the first time I saw them, I always knew. And me and you have had that moment. The first time I saw you, I knew. So, yeah, it's really interesting.
It's oh, it's interesting, and ultimately I'm blessed to have that. It just is like, fuck, she was right. And it scares me sometimes. It scares me because she's like, I know you're, oh wait, let me crack this. Hold on. Okay, sorry. My mother's on the phone, speaker on full volume like she always does, so that's nice. But what was I saying? Oh, it scares me sometimes because like you've seen it with my business. Like, no, you're meant to be full time in your business. You're not meant to like I'm in school for marketing and stuff right now, like as a plan B, but like you've always been like, you're not meant to do any of that. You're meant to be full-time spiritual entrepreneur and like that's who you are. And I'm always like, yeah, but you never know. Like, and you're like, nope, you're meant to do that. And yeah, so stuff like that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, North Node in the fifth house too. Like you're totally meant to do something creative and not like I feel like marketing, there is some creativity to it, but for the most part it's pretty structured, you
Not
know?
when I have all that eighth house in me. Like I'm meant to talk about the occult and like it's part of who I am, you know? Like that's not deep enough for me,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. Anyway, we all
Yeah.
know. But um yeah, it was cool to hear that prediction come through and of yours. And yeah, it just feels really good. Like your idea of doing the podcast together, at least this series at first, and then like that came through right at the same time as Nan asked me to start a paranormal adventures club. So now, like, even in the last episode, I was like, I can't believe I grew up watching Sam and Colby and like all these famous paranormal investigators, and now I'm doing it. And that was, we recorded last episode the night you and Luna went ghost hunting for the first time together. And then flash forward a year later, I literally am starting my own shit and like have I just investigated overnight in a church, and I've uploaded multiple videos that have done really well like on my YouTube, and it's just so much more established now. And like yeah, that offer of Nan, who we took a advanced mediumship program from, she's like, what, been a witch and I don't know if she identifies with the word witch, but definitely a medium, a psychic for what, like 30, 40 years or something?
Longer. Her whole life. And I mean, I think
Okay.
she's in her 50s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
we all look up to her a lot, and to have that opportunity from Nan was insane, and that came through. And then like our best friend Luna, like I'm doing events with her now, and like she wants to do more with me. So there's just so much collaboration and like up leveling together in the air, and it's just really great vibes, and it's exciting.
yeah, and like what's more fun than like doing it with your best friends, you know? Like let's we can all get there so much faster when we do it together, you know? Like
Exactly.
we always say that. I want to take you with me.
Yes, yes. We're like every time we think about like our individual futures, it's with each other in it too. Like we're somewhere in it, you know? And yeah,
Yeah.
it's really awesome. And I think like sharing that energy of what we have felt for years now of like women coming together and supporting women and empowering each other instead of getting jealous or competitive or like territorial or whatever, and instead just sharing that. And you're right, it makes us like 10 times, a million times more successful. And I think having a podcast is a great platform to share that energy with more women.
Yeah. 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 So I think that's what we're doing here for sure. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to see I'm excited to see it play out because, we can see it, we're dreaming it up. That means it's possible, right? The fact that we can dream it, and it's gonna be cool to see this manifest.
I totally agree. And should we tell them about our um revised and upgraded version of our soul purpose reading. Do you want me to tell them about that?
Sure. Do you have it up and ready to go on your website?
I will once this goes out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
get it up on mine too then. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So we've decided, so within this past year, we have come together for an offer. We were calling it a soul purpose dual reading because Megan looks at your, well, you can say your part. Um, most of the time we start with tarot, but sometimes we switch it up. But basically, how it was is you sit down with us for 30 minutes and I would pull tarot cards on what your soul purpose is in this life. And then your part.
Oh, and then I would use well, I would look at the traditional placements for your soul purpose in your astrology chart, like in your birth chart. But I would also use the tarot archetypes that are associated with the zodiac to get some deeper layers, and even the numerology too. Like for the Three of Wands, I'd be looking at like the third house, stuff like that to give you some extra layers and meaning of your soul purpose.
Exactly. So it was a really sick offer, and a ton of you have done it and booked it already. And we were learning so much about like what we can do together as readers, and then what a soul purpose actually means because we were seeing so many themes of like, it's not all about making money and what you do as a career. It's more of an energy you embody is what your purpose is. And we're going to do a whole episode on that, I'm sure. But yeah, so we developed this offer and now we are upgrading it to call it a tarot and astrology deep dive because we're updating it to be 45 to 60 minutes. Um, and now it's more general intentioned. So like instead of just this offer being available to look at your soul purpose. Now it's like you can come in and we can still look at your soul purpose if that's your request, but we can also look at your love life or your career or, who you're meant to be or a question you have that's more specific. Like, and we would spend that time diving into your tarot and astrology together to answer that question or to gain insight on that topic. So yeah, we're excited about that too.
Yes, yes. And I love the way like we feed off each other in those readings too, because we're both able to give some extra insight like off of what the other person's saying that just takes it deeper and deeper. And yeah, I think deep dive is a perfect name for it.
Yeah, because it's deep. It's deep. And you get two readers at once. So it's both perspectives at once. And it's more of a conversation and collaboration on your life and what you're going through. So it's super supportive. And yeah, it's going to be linked below. Obviously, once this episode comes out, we'll have it available on our websites to book us. And it's a limited time offer because, again, we're feeling this whole collaboration thing out first. But we don't know if we're gonna continue to do that, so it's gonna be limited time. But yeah, I think that's it. Did you want to say anything else on your mind before we sign off?
No, I think that's about covers it.
Cool, cool. Um, so make sure y'all are subscribed to the Holistic Treehouse and my YouTube channel because our episodes are going to be going out on both video version. If you are an audio person, you can listen to Divine Gossip on any audio major platform like Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. If you add it to your library, you'll get notified when new episodes come out, audio version. Um, this series that we're doing is going to be underneath Divine Gossip. Oh, wait, we didn't even say the name of it.
Oh, wait, what was it? I forget.
Okay, ready? Drum roll.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's called Mystic Moments with Megan and Mackenzie. So every
Yes,
time it
yes,
drops, you will see that name come up and you will know it is one of our series episodes. So yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna be fun.
yes. Thank you so much for having me on again, and I'm so excited for this journey together.
Me too. I love you and thank you everyone for listening. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's Divine Gossip episode. I hope you enjoyed it or maybe even learned something new. If you did, it would mean the absolute world to me if you left a rating and review wherever you're listening. It helps other beautiful souls like yourself find this podcast, find me, and join the DG community. If you have any spiritual questions for me, any haunted stories you want my take on, any topic or guest suggestions, if you want to be a guest yourself, anything and everything, you can fill out the Divine Gossip Google form linked in the description of this episode so I can hear from you, because you are literally a part of what I create here. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.